When you think horror in video games, it's probably safe to assume that you don't immediately think about the Game Boy. That is, unless you also have memories of stealing the batteries from everything in your house, then getting punished for it afterwards. Sorry, Mom. Regardless, when it comes to a visceral, depressing, and just genuinely scary experience, I don't think you assume that I would be saying that one of the most unsettling games I played in years is also on the same device that I play Pokemon Yellow with. But here we are. This is Deadeus. Okay, so this may be a surprise to some of you, but the Game Boy is still getting new games. While these are entirely independent and can still run on pretty much everything else, the simple fact that I was able to play this game during the PS5 generation on a handheld that I used to play with back in the 90s is kinda crazy. For this review, I mostly played the game on a modded Game Boy Pocket with a flash cart, and then again on my PC. While it was fun on a nice color calibrated 4K monitor, there's something about playing a Game Boy game on its original hardware. Deadeus is a game from an indie dev called Isma, who, by the way, is pretty sick with a pencil. I'm always jealous of people that can draw. Anyways, the game is made for the Game Boy and runs extremely well on a Game Boy Pocket. So if you have the means, go for it. But I have to suggest, if you're gonna play on an old Game Boy, get a worm light or backlight the screen or something, because honestly, I don't know how anybody played games on this thing back in the day, because yeah, I've never seen a darker screen than this. Deadeus takes place over 3 days, in which you're tasked with figuring out the mystery behind your nightmares and why everyone in town is acting so strange. It's bloody, unsettling, and deals with some pretty extreme issues, so a warning on that kind of stuff. This game is definitely a hard R. You play as a kid who's not quite a teenager, who only has 3 days to explore his small village and ultimately try to stop the cosmic horror that is Deadeus. The decision to make the main character a kid really solidifies the horror and general feeling of helplessness here. You'll talk to your friends who are having the same shared nightmares, as well as being talked down to by adults and just generally creepy strangers. You can explore a church, library, take in the scenery, and even go to school. As each day creeps forward to the end of time, everyone starts acting stranger, and casual situations like visiting a coffee shop and the beach take a much darker direction. While I'm trying to not spoil too much here, the game is much bigger than it seems. Throughout your adventure, you'll run into a possible 11 endings with no direct pathways on how to get to them. While there's a few that take a little bit of logic to achieve, this is where Deadeus sets itself apart from almost anything on the Game Boy. I mean, some of these endings took quite a bit of logic to achieve. The inclusion of branching pathways, player choice, and an if this then that gameplay loop introduces some of the most interesting modern gameplay innovations to old hardware that I've seen in quite some time. By letting me choose what I wanted to do and how to do it, the small world of Deadeus became infinitely bigger, and I was able to lose myself in its short runtime. While the environments and the world in the game are small, throughout my time playing, my mind was filling the gaps and making this seem much bigger than it is, which when combined with the game's bleak soundtrack and overall melancholy themes, it made it pretty scary. I actually found myself thinking about the story long after the batteries died in my Game Boy, to the point to where I was even having some strange nightmares. If there's one thing I've stated time and time again on this channel, it's that games are an escape. By giving us the chance to not only see new stories, but also experience them, they let us use our imagination in ways that we may not have before. And when it comes to horror, this is essential in selling me on why the thing happening on my screen should be seen as a scary thing, and in the moment perceived as a threat, even though it's not real. I get more into the psychology of fear in games in this video right here, so if you want to check that out, that'd be cool. Deadeus is one of those once in a while gaming experiences that I really can't recommend enough. And if you have access to a Game Boy that, won't make you go blind, or you're just looking for something interesting and new to play for a few hours, you should totally not sleep on this. With its simple visuals, clever writing, and what might be one of the best looking games that can run on the original Game Boy's hardware, Deadeus, in its own way, raises the bar on what true horror experiences can and should be. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while, so yeah, thanks for sticking with me and checking that one out. This was a game that I've been meaning to play for a while, and I found myself just totally wrapped up in it. Yeah, and it's just kind of cool to play something new on a Game Boy. It's not often you get to play something on old hardware. Hopefully someone out there saw this and thinks, it's kind of cool. So yeah, do that thing that everyone says to do at the end of a video, but don't feel pressure to do it because that is stupid. And yeah, go do something nice for someone, starting to open up again. So yeah. Until next time, take care.